I make my living off the evening news, expat vloggers, and living in the Philippines. Just give me something I can use. People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry. Well, I could have been on TikTok, but I wound up YouTube here. I just have to edit well and search all day. Send me an email or call, come and whisper in my ear. Give us dirty laundry. Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down. Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down. Doesn't matter what island you're on. Philippines should have been heaven, but you ended up on my page. Should have stayed off YouTube and just played on the beach instead. We got the age gap couple, the odd couple, broke expats. Who comes on at 5? They can tell you about how they loves it with a gleam in their eyes. It's interesting when people lie. Give us dirty laundry. Can we film the operation? Is political or not? You know the boys in the newsroom gotta run in bed. Get the widow on the set. We need dirty laundry. You don't really need to find out what's going on in Angeles City. You don't really want to know just how far it's gone. Just leave well enough alone. Eat your dirty laundry. We can dance and sing. When it's said and done, we haven't told you a thing. We all know that expats are king. Give us dirty laundry. Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down. Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when...
Good morning, guys.
Oh, it was.
Let's try this again. Good morning.
I was joking.
Looking for a new engineer and a new husband.
I was joking. Char.
You're fired. What's going on? All right, guys. Today we're going to cover a tragic loss. Another American terminated in the Philippines. Ah,
No, I mean it is a very sad thing, and it is on the news, and it is on the island of Mindanao, which I mean it's really sad, but I mean
yes, it is a tragedy. Today we're going to cover what he might have been able to do if he was able to do something. There's we're going to try to cover a little bit more than that's actually being put out there. Like you listened to the interview and you picked up on a few things. There's also accusations out about the
there's a lot of
husband. So there's a lot of
yeah,
chismis
there's a
and
lot of chatter.
right. And so today is going to be an open discussion. Okay. Don't take them as facts or like even stuff
If
in the
we say
news anymore.
something that we said that somebody said,
It
we're
exactly means that.
exactly, take it for what it is. It's not our opinion; it's others people's opinions. In fact, these statements are said so much, and I don't even think it's that the person actually said something that's directly involved. And I was like, oh, okay, so somebody did actually
There's a lot of
talk to him.
yeah, there's a lot of odd things because of course we just didn't stop at the story. The gentleman, the Filipino, is a YouTuber. Looks like he has actually arrived in the United States. They came back for a vacation. Okay. So it's an American man from Boston that was on vacation with his
Boston.
Filipino partner who is a YouTuber, and the Filipino is a business owner. He has a pig farm. They arrived in the Philippines, and the American was terminated during an attempted robbery. The incident took place on Wednesday night in Trento, Agasan
Agusan del Sur.
del Sur. The incident occurred around 9:45 at night. And I will
Five.
you stop? I'm gonna take your coffee away, everything away here
Well,
in
I
a
was gonna
minute.
say Purok 5.
Anyways, so also we're going to show you some articles that we have because 5 or 6 hours later he made some odd statements
Now,
about his
yeah,
husband.
the irony is, and I say irony, and I mean this with all. I mean, I'm not being mean or anything. but it happened in Brook 5, Pulang Lupa. And what does Pulang Lupa mean, Heidi?
It means the red between my legs on the ground above.
Crickets. No, it doesn't smell like fish. It's red
What is
earth.
same thing.
Pulang Lupa means red earth. So it's just the irony, you know?
So the gentleman's name is the American is Ralph Menecki, I think is how we would say that, Menecki. He was withdrawing 50,000 pesos. Now, I believe they're wrong on the $800 amount because that wouldn't be
I was wondering about
5,000.
that, where they got the conversion from.
Yeah, because I know this has been thoughtfully put out by Sunshine
No.
Shoulders.
Okay, so let's do the math. And now,
Maybe he just took out 800 and they're wrong.
no. Go ahead.
46,000 would be at almost.
Okay, they're just
59.
rounding up. But
So they're rounding up.
what I'm saying is, $800 is a lot, but it's not a human life a lot. You know what I'm saying?
The armed suspect, okay, and there'll be more information we'll talk about in a minute. The armed suspect was wearing a helmet, and they said he had a mask, and he jumped out of an SUV. And there's several of these stories. I'm just giving you what the basic newspaper in New York Times had put out. That the guy confronted them and his partner, Gerald Caesar Torino, better known as Jade Torino, the YouTuber, pig farmer, chef, and recent husband to this age gap relationship that was going on. The robber snatched the bag of cash before pew-pewing or firing upon him into his stomach, and without any hesitation. They said he didn't even hesitate. As a matter of fact, some of the stories are saying that it was an attack first and then money, or money and then, I'm not sure.
There's a confusion here, and it's not. I'm confused. I'm going to tell you. Well, then again, I'm confused every day. But the point is I could have sworn the story is okay, again, don't quote me on this. I'm just going by what I've heard and what I know. Not necessarily, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you directly what exactly happened. But and during the interview, I could have sworn.
Yeah, because the husband.
I thought he said that the person was pretending to be a security guard with a
Security
firearm.
officer, right? It said that he was confronted. Somebody
And
jumped.
then this now,
I heard there was a motorbike.
no,
So it's.
I'm telling you right now, this is what I heard and what saying. I'm talking about in the interview.
Yeah,
But
the
that
husband
one,
was interviewed, and the interview is out.
what Heidi's saying is the official story. Do you guys get the conflict I have here?
Right. So there's different newspapers, radio stations, witnesses, chatter, and then the guy himself did like it was like an 18-minute video of the incident looking
From
unaffected.
what I understood and from what I've heard from other sources too, that it was a person pretending to be a security guard with a firearm.
Correct. They said he was pretending. So where was the
In,
rest of it coming
in fact, he even says, this person, the security guard, approached me and says, "How are you doing tonight, sir?" And he says, "I was, well, actually, sorry. I digress. Let me backtrack. He says, I was cleaning up the car of debris, aka Coke bottles, and he was putting away the Coke bottles on the floor. And the security guard approached and says, "How are you doing tonight, sir?" That's what he said in his language.
Gotcha.
Which I believe is Bisaya.
Yeah. So they said that he snatched the bag of cash. It says from Torino before. So the husband was carrying the money?
Yes. From my
Wait a minute. Yeah.
From my understanding from the original interview, yes.
Yeah, it says in the article here. Okay, so that's even stranger now.
Because they're in the car. His exact words are, "My husband was the driver."
Yeah, see, none of that's in the newspaper.
See, this is my guys. Again, it's not from me. It's not from Heidi. It's from what we got.
Yeah, the kids
Now
talking.
the interview and the official story don't match. I'm gonna tell you that
Well,
right
you
now.
can't believe the news anyways. You can't believe
No, no,
me,
I
the
know
next
that. I know
person.
that. I'm just letting these people know because remember, they may think that we're making things up. We're not.
I'm not even
They're
explaining to them
that
fools.
what I'm saying is
Yeah.
what was said during the interview and what was officially released don't match.
And then the stuff on his Facebook is kind of got a
Well,
lot of
that's a
people
different story
talking and chattering.
entirely. That's
Okay, so without
yeah.
hesitation, he injured him in his stomach and before fleeing the scene. The initial investigation by the Trento Municipality Police said that the American had just arrived at the location with his live-in partner. Now, let me correct. In the Philippines, he would be considered a live-in partner. In the United States, they were married. They just filed exactly 1 year ago for his green card, and it would be based on marriage that I'm assuming. But it shows him with wedding rings and everything else in the United States. But here in the Philippines, they will call it a partner. So with his American husband, Gerald Caesar, it says retrieving something from the rear of the vehicle, it says. An unidentified man with the firearm suddenly appeared. See? And it says Torino recounted a horrifying moment to the authorities. He didn't look too horrified to me in that interview. I still say we should upload and let people see some of that. They need to know for themselves on that interview. He didn't to me look
Actually,
horrified.
well, I don't know.
He just
Yeah.
looked I get when people I get when people look very distraught or there's just no way.
Well, since we talked about this, now here's the thing: we're not the only ones who think this.
Yeah, I mean,
In fact, there's a lot of people says you don't look too mortified or horrified or distraught during your interviews. And what statement did he make?
yeah, he in Tagalog he had responded back. Let me see, I have it here. Get it.
Right. No,
So his response back
we're not the one who
to
questioned him. Somebody else did.
his response to the response to that situation that he didn't look horrified enough. He's like, "So do I?" And this is what he wrote in. You said it's Savannah, right? He wrote it
No,
in.
Bisaya.
It is in Visayan. So the translation states, "So do I really need to cry to be considered a victim? Also, is that how it works? Should I cry as a part of this investigation?" No, but he didn't look horrified or distraught or.
Now remember, this is not from us. But however, now first off, there's in his defense. Okay, again, you guys know I always play devil's advocate.
We need to get through this. Okay.
Oh well, you're the one.
No, I know. That's because
No, I
I
understand.
said that, and
Okay,
then I
well,
said, "Look,
to play
horrified."
devil's advocate again, remember, not everybody processes
I want to get this done.
loss
No.
the same way.
Well, also, like I said, within 5 hours, he posts on his own Facebook about there being problems.
Right. Well, yeah. Then
All right, so
let's
yeah, because I want to
continue.
get this down
Because
because I
there's
can't.
a lot of stuff going on that a lot of people aren't talking about.
Right. So it says here saying the suspect initially greeted them before pulling out the weapon. While we were withdrawing, an SUV had pulled up next to us and a man stepped out. And I was taken aback. I saw that he was pointing a weapon at us. The armed suspect warned my partner not to move. I couldn't do anything. My body went numb and I dropped to the ground. They said the man grabbed the bag and then they heard the discharging. The devastating Torino, which would be the husband, cradled Manekni's lifeless body on the street until they reached, till the police had got there. And it did say he was rushed to the hospital, but he was already gone. So the tragedy did occur on the same island. We have to mention this as the other YouTuber, Elliot Eastman, that was taken, in October or last year. So um, they were in the United States and they both traveled here. He does have a pig farm here, and his YouTube video and his Facebook, he has a bigger Facebook, shows that he's also got a It shows a restaurant. The husband, the Filipino, was staying in the U.S. and he did file for permanent residency on January 17th of last year. So I'm actually curious what will happen also to his residency if it was based, of course, on marriage
I
and
have a good
everything.
idea.
Yeah.
Depending on when was it filed? Is it actually finished?
No, it says it was status. He showed a photo of it. I don't know,
No.
a
When was
month
it
or so
filed?
ago. A year ago.
A year ago. Okay. That's
Yeah, who
probably
knows? If he gets an attorney, I'm sure it'll be
it depends
fine.
on
But he'll have to
the
change his
stages. There's several
status.
stages. There's several stages of immigration. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So there's a lot to process on this. So we, as you guys know us, we're deep diving. So only because here, let me pull up what we have here and get into this. So there is the area.
Now, for those of you wondering, on the far right is where this incident is. On the far left is where Eastman happened.
Right. But yeah, it's still overall in Mindanao. There is where he's hovering over him. Okay. There is his piggery. There's a family farm that's there. Most recently, he's done a bunch of construction. I don't know if it's because of this, the size of them making money. I don't know if his new husband had anything to do.
Just real quick, Pablo, and for those of you just joining in, no, the expat was married to a Filipino.
A guy.
They're a same-sex couple.
Yeah,
Right.
there have been several expats vloggers that have covered this. You guys know us. We always wait at least a few days, try to get some information, wait for
Well,
some
wait for the
updates.
dust to settle before, because usually when the dust is up, there's usually a lot of misinformation. No, I'm just saying it's true.
Or they just don't say anything. So
Which
I mean,
I'm surprised nobody said anything about a lot of things we just said.
I get that it doesn't pertain, but on the other hand, it does. There's a lot going on.
I would say it pertains if there's something that doesn't match.
Yeah. There he is on his YouTube channel. Most of it's the piggery and stuff. Also here he is on the beach with him. You'll always be my guardian angel. Thank you from saving me from my worst childhood experience. Imagine his family, because as of yesterday, he posted a family photo of him and his family. Like there was a family photo on his page, but here he is. If that was my kids, I'd. Mm, mm, mm. What you talking about? Fool, you just put my photo up yesterday and now you're going to talk about worst childhood of your life.
That's why
I'm going to pick up a shoe and smack him upside
Shoe,
down.
get chinelas,
I'm going to get a boot. Okay, so here's one of the most controversial photos yet that's going around that people are discussing. This is him. Okay, this was just less than 3 weeks ago. I believe it says January 18th. This is him posting photos of himself. And believe me, there was a lot more being seen on that right side than you guys are seeing. Plus, it's a little eye candy for my ladies or guys. Who knows? You're welcome. But he posted these on his page. There's no photos of his man, by the way. None. The only one that was found was by the New York Times. That photo wasn't even anywhere to be found. I think maybe his sister, because there was a statement from his family already on that side. But this was on his page. And these are so infamous for scouting. Okay, so I just want to let you know that that's actually, yeah. So that's the one I just translated.
Which is because there's just a few new people in the room.
Yeah. So do I really need to cry to be confused, or to be considered as a victim too? Is that how it works? Should I cry as a part of the investigation? Saw investigation.
Now, the point we're trying to make is the person made this statement publicly. You know why? Because again,
He didn't. I mean that he didn't flinch in that.
No,
in that
he didn't.
investigation.
When I saw that interview, I'm like, that's odd. I could have. It's like some witness just randomly telling a story what happened.
Okay,
You know what
so
I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm very understanding. I really am. I really am, and I'm very
there was
empathetic.
there was
But when I watch this guy, I'm like, he's like he's like
cold as ice. Let me tell you what happened.
cold. It's not cold. He was like, "Hey, here I am. Well, here's the story. I'm going to tell you the story right now."
He
You know
was
what I'm
like,
saying?
George had his ice cream cone knocked out of his hand, and they took 2,000 pesos. And
If he did that, at least it would be something.
you know what? They came by and they took that ice cream out of George's hand and took the 2,000
Thank you.
pesos.
Thank you.
And it's kind of like them guys that do them interviews in the United States when
It's
they
like,
do all. No, but I'm saying
yeah,
but at
it's
least
like
they'd be
it's
like
like that.
smiling like a Cheshire cat. This guy didn't have no emotions. He just, he just had the appearance of a
Yeah, it's like the ambulance guy. You know what I'm talking about?
ambulance.
Oh, girl, sorry, but the ambulance or Lamar. You guys get the point. It's like a third party person telling the story. Like,
Yeah.
no, you were actually there. You were victimized. And here you are defending yourself because, and again, in all fairness, people process grief in a different manner.
This was just a strange one. Big
However,
consensus. This was really odd. Plus the photos.
normally people don't behave that way.
Speaking of behaving, this incident happened at 9 something at night. They said 9:45,
Yeah, that's
9:30. Hold up. We'll get to the ATM and why the money that late at night and everything. At 5 or 6 hours later, this is what you guys are staring at here. This is the husband that says, "I know and I feel that you really appreciate my parents, my family. You care about me more than I care for you. How can I start our plans now? Now you're gone." And he
Now,
wrote that in English. That wasn't translated.
right. So, wait, what?
Okay, hold
Say
up.
that again.
I know and feel that you really appreciate my parents and my family. You care about me more than I care for you or care for you. How can I start our plans now that you're gone? But hold on, there's more. Okay, it was at 4:25 a.m. This happened at 9:45 at night.
Exact words,
So
not translated.
remember, people react like when these issues happen, they got to get stuff off their chest. I don't know what they're dealing with. But the previous one, that happened at 3:59 a.m. Okay, it says, "I know we have differences. You have had your own beliefs and I have had mine, but you respect me as I'm respecting you. You said you're okay, but you didn't mean it." And then it shows the crying face. That's the second one that you guys are looking at. "But you didn't mean it. Now you leave me forever." It reminds me of the Elliot Eastman when his Filipino wife was putting cryptic messages, but these are not geared. This is either geared at the husband or this is geared at another person out there, but that sure seems like he's addressing his, American married husband. The reason the Philippines is calling it partners because gay marriage is not legal in the Philippines.
Lovey. I have something to show you later at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's this bank on the corner. Oh my gosh, you gotta see it. But only at 3 o'clock in the morning they have this special show, and you have to see it.
Difference is I'm Dirty Harry. That didn't sound right. I already have a death wish. You ain't got to worry about that. If I had my chicken star and chicken and my chicharrones and ice cream at noon, I don't care what happens at 12:01. You got the right one, baby.
But Bubby, but I have to
guess
go
that was
to
it.
Google, and I need $800 to go to Google.
You better get your hands off me, fool. You better get your hands off me, fool, because today's not the day. We got the aircon guy coming again, and I'm tired of this. This will be the third time in less than 60 days, and I'm not even playing with them today.
Oh yeah, and
I'm going to jail.
Just real quick again, we got, it's off topic, but we were invited to Google again.
I don't know. I don't know if anything you're taking that trip between I am not getting sick again.
No. Heidi's not feeling well.
Well, it's just that every time I've gone out the last few times, I end up with some sort of bug, and with all the stuff that's going on, I mean, you can actually hear in my voice. So, but plus the weird thing is about the Google invite is we're getting less than a week notice. It's we always our manager comes in from Singapore
Well,
for
she
Google.
flies in. She's our manager's Singaporean. That's no secret. And she flies in each time she sees us. She has to fly into the
So
Philippines.
that means she knows. I don't know why we're getting last minute notification. So, and it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, maybe because she got the notification meeting. Because remember, the
They have to free up the office.
well, what I'm saying
space
is
and-
Google is a big company and YouTube is a big company. And they have to organize and try. Okay, well,
Yeah,
this-
there's only so many of their meeting rooms for scheduling. I get that. The whole point is it's 2 in the afternoon. Anything after 12 o'clock, I'm half asleep because of my lupus and anemia. So to actually arrive at 2 o'clock, we won't be home till midnight. The answer's no for
Hey.
me. But
Hey,
is the puppy up there?
yes.
No, the puppy has learned to get up. Yeah, here, let her swish eating the fish. That's
Yes.
okay. It won't hurt her.
Yes. Yeah, she's eating the cat the fish saved for the cats.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, what's that noise?
And by the way, we had rehomed Bella Bear, one of my favorite cats. She's back. So the owner was going back to the U.S. and we kind of discussed it was kind of like a watch him long term, and I said I was actually kind of wanting her back, and so she's back. I'm kind of excited. She was one of our original cats, so we've got 2 of the original cats from 4 years. So I was excited, and my God, she is so skinny now. So all right, so we're gonna go through the comments and say hello.
Hello,
guys. If you're not Governor, stop.
Yes, Governor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Got any dirty laundry for me?
Yes, like Paige Expat Pepper says, what's the difference between the Antics channel and your Philippine one? Just curious. The difference is
It's not making any money. It's free. No, just kidding. I thought PH Expat Prepper's been in the room over this before.
I no.
I thought maybe, yeah, we've been explaining this the last few times, so no offense to this one. The difference is
No, there's a difference, except
big
right now
difference.
you're not seeing it because you're actually watching the live, which doesn't count.
Right. So right now we're dual broadcasting the channel, and there are different videos on each channel.
Correct.
So we're allowed to do the live streams like that. Being George owns both channels. Also, we had announced quite some time ago, last month, that with George doing a gaming channel and doing side work here in the Philippines, that he's licensed to do. That I would start doing more of the expat help videos. So you can clearly see there's a big difference. Those are most recent expat help videos that are being released on there. So that's the difference. Is that our expat help videos will go on that channel along with any pet stuff. And then this one is mostly just live streams, Ricky stuff, Google stuff. So there'll be 2 different channels. So, and I think the other one is semi bringing in the
Oh,
expats that are
Sarah
trying to
says
travel.
that short notice could have something to do with TikTok. That's a good. Maybe
What short notice?
YouTube.
No, babe, she does it every time. We've been to Google how many times? Every time she tells us we
Well,
get a
it's
week's
usually
notice.
not this short.
Was the previous time. She only gave us a short period of time the last time.
It was
we were really
2
shocked.
weeks on average.
Okay. So I don't know. So yeah. Hmm.
It's the
I'm gonna tell you what. Try me. Try me, and that list that I sent to you yesterday will become times 10. And I'm not going to be responsible for any of it. Are you serious right now?
It's called a joke.
Not really.
Jeez.
Not really.
You know how many times I've done that to clients?
Go find a client down. Find your client.
No, I really did that.
Yeah.
I would touch the screen and move things on the screen, and they really think it's a touch screen, but it was. No, I get it. Okay, jeez. MB, hello, Philippine Antics Squad. How are you doing? Sarah
Hey,
Tyson,
Sarah.
hey,
Good morning.
hello, Heidi and George, hello, Rubies. Hey, Jose Rodriguez, how are you doing? Good morning out there.
Oh.
What? Now what?
Nothing. No, it's okay. I was just thinking about something.
Engelbert, good morning. Susanna Marjon. Hi everyone. Hey, Susanna.
Hey, good morning.
Luke.
Hey, Luke. Good morning.
Hello, ma'am in circle. Oh, hey Luke. How are you doing?
Hey, Luke.
Walter Brown. It's been a while.
Hey,
for me.
Walter.
First time I've seen the new intro.
We have a whole list of intros of music we've created, and we've been doing it now probably for over a year, but we just stopped because the intros are nice because it allows time for our room to build up. StreamYard tries to give you music and things that do countdowns for 2 minutes. So a long time ago we did. The problem is a lot of people come back in and like three times the amount will come in and rewatch it, and they don't want to sit through the intros. And so they can always fast forward. Now they've got the
No,
major
you can
fast
fast forward if
buttons.
you came in
So
late. You can fast forward.
right,
Yeah.
but no, we
It's like the movie trailers before you watch a movie, that kind of
yeah,
deal.
so that's why we kind of stopped. Plus, intros are starting to not become as popular, but we still throw it in because we created that song "Dirty Laundry" based off of Don Henley, and just redid it. So added different beats to it.
Redo. Or redux, as other people say. Okay. Well. Smile and be happy. Thumbs up.
Hey. Yes, guys, be sure to subscribe.
Victor C. George and Heidi. Hi. Hey, Victor. How you doing? Aguthan.
Del Sur.
Yeah, Del Sur. I was trying.
Trent. Oh, yeah.
Trento. Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Yes. That's on the very far. They're the opposite ends of Mindanao. Again, I don't have a problem with Mindanao. Except in Mindanao,
Trento is the name
right?
of the area.
Yeah. No. It's a same sex couple. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no confusion. Just others aren't mentioning that they are. Not that it really has anything to do with it,
That's no
but
bearing. Although,
it's part of the story.
yeah. I mean,
We're just covering the entire thing inside and out. It's yeah.
Lee.
And their age
Good
gap.
morning. Second win. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hello,
Hey,
Heidi and George. Room.
Hey, what's going on, Ted?
Hey, Ted. Hello, beautiful people. Hey, Ted, as I say. Timothy Rogers says, "Morning, Columbus, Ohio." Antics.
Good morning.
Pablo Chicanos. A coincidence, same island. Okay, now, like I said, it happened on opposite ends of the island. However, be aware. The problem I have in the story, this is part of the story, and I'm not the only one who actually says this. The problem with the story is, wait, hold up. You took your expat husband where and what time? That is part of the story. And I'm not the one actually questioning this. There's a lot of people that's in, this there's this place called Reddit. But anyway, people are questioning, like, wait a minute, why would you do that to him?
Well,
Why?
here's my question. Did they just arrive at the resort? I don't know the
Well,
full
it doesn't
story.
matter whether they just arrived at a resort. Like I said, I was joking when I said, "Hey, Heidi, let's go to this place at 3 o'clock in the
I'm
morning."
confused by the entire story. I don't know if they literally just went to an ATM. It said they were sitting in a car. So there's a bunch of stories
Okay,
out there, like other vloggers are saying he went to an ATM and got robbed at the ATM. That wasn't robbed
honestly,
at the ATM.
guys, give me a scenario where you have to go to an ATM at 9 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, why would you be the whole?
If you're withdrawing that kind of cash
But it
at that
didn't. He
time,
didn't get attacked then. It's like the person knew he had the money, so then they were being followed, whether it was in front of the resort or not.
point being is
You
one,
shouldn't have that kind of money that late
you
at night.
shouldn't have that kind of money. You shouldn't be out that time. Especially, okay, Mindanao. Okay, again, is it safe? Is it not safe? Depends. It's kind of like whenever somebody says, "Is that a good area?" A respectable Filipino has enough sense to say, for example, when we first landed here when we first landed here, me and Heidi, when we first landed here in the Philippines, I was, of course, I have to look for a place for us to stay in, right? Or any respectable Filipino would say something like this, and I have heard this to me, and you've heard this from me too. Well, sir, you could live there. It's okay, but with your wife, no. And I've said this to you guys too. Is the place okay for us to go there and for me to live there and everything? Is it safe? Yes, for a Filipino. But for an expat, no.
Okay.
There's a lot of areas that I wouldn't recommend or recommend in Mindanao. That's not one of them. Either Eastman or this person. Okay, take it with a grain of salt.
We're talking about.
Oh crap! I forgot grain of salt. I actually bought Heidi some balut to eat this live, but I forgot.
Yeah, you can pass on that one.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to happen in a zillion years.
Oh well.
Okay. So you were starting to talk about the ATM, and somehow you started talking about the area where.
What do you mean? It's all
Hey, I thought you were starting on. We were discussing the ATM.
okay. What about the ATM? I already said again. Well, again, who would withdraw that kind of money at night?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and somehow you started talking about Mindanao, so I was just checking in here. So
Yeah, because Pablo says coincidence. Same island.
there's all kinds of crimes going on there with different foreigners and stuff. I mean, it's just an American where this actually happened. The whole island. Actually, the newspaper called it crime-ridden island. As a matter of fact, is what they've been saying.
Okay.
And
That's what
that's
I'm.
coming from
That's
Filipinos.
what I'm trying to tell you guys again. Remember, if it's there's a big difference between a tourist, okay, an obvious tourist. I mean, if I go to Mexico, I could, to some people, I can pass as Mexican. To some people, but most Mexicans, honestly, they spot me a mile away. What I'm saying is, if I can't blend in the Mexican community, what do you think of a Caucasian person?
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? And I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but what I'm saying is, you're a big giant red flag walking around. And again,
This whole story has me confused because, as I'm to understand, it sounds like now they're saying the money bag was on the on the Filipino, not the American. So, and then the rest of the story said it was on the American. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the
no,
entire thing. I
that's
kind
the
of
thing
wish the interview that
we've been
you
trying to
had would have
say,
been a little bit more.
that there's, well, that's the problem I have, is what he says and what they say are two different things.
Well, of course, but I would rather hear it from the horse's mouth, whether it's right or wrong, than the newspapers. I mean, it started out somewhere. The first main article was New York Times. taking it from one of the radio stations down there. So basically, not a whole bunch of people are putting this story out. So it is very limited. As a matter of fact, the Filipino called out one or two of the things about, one of them about not telling the truth. But that's why I said it would have been kind of vital for that article.
Well, guys, again, the
Or
person the person involved actually says, "You mean I have to be distraught to be a victim?"
yeah.
The point I'm saying is, we're not the only ones with there's this attitude that goes, "Er?" You know what I'm saying? We're not the only ones, because there's a lot of people on Reddit and everything's like they're questioning things, and we're just voicing out what these other people are questioning. Again, like, and guys, doesn't matter where you're at. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no reason to be
Oh, no, I'm
out
sure they'll
late.
investigate. But then again, who knows if they'll even
Right.
investigate?
Well, what I'm saying is, I mean, think about this again, and even in the U.S., unless you're actually clubbing, there's no reason to be an ATM late that night. Yeah, and even then, everybody knows that's, you're rolling the dice. Even in the U.S., if you're out clubbing and then you go to an ATM, everybody knows that. And in what I'm saying is, I don't know these people. What I'm saying is, I don't know if whether or not, you know, we weren't there. And what I'm saying is, you can say, other people can say, hey, he should have said something not to go to the ATM late at night. He should have said not to go to that area.
The expat should have known. It shouldn't have been on
Maybe
the
he
husband to
did.
begin
Maybe
with.
he did say something, but we don't know. And as Heidi says, maybe he said, hey, don't go to that ATM. And the expat could have said, I'm fine. I can handle myself,
And what
that
if
kind
it
of
was
deal.
the opposite? What if the young Filipino guy said the same?
Yeah,
Better
yeah. And
get the money now so we don't have to worry about
I
it
was gonna say
later.
that too. We don't know. But either way,
It's not
it
smart.
doesn't matter what we think. The facts of the matter is, it's unsafe.
Whole point is don't take that much money out of the bank and
Well,
leave
don't
it
go
with
to the
them.
bank, period. That's what I'm saying. That late of a
ATM.
night. Just don't. It's not safe, period. That's in the US. Okay. I'm a very cautious guy. Once it hits 6 o'clock, I don't go to the bank. I don't go to the ATM. That's just a rule. I mean, I'm just saying. But anyway. But again,
It's a
you
lot of
you guys don't have
money.
to listen to us. That's up to you guys. Um, the residency won't be a problem. It Okay. Now, the only reason why I think it won't be a problem is because no, 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 nothing with you, pause. Um, One, they're already here. What I'm saying, I think they waited until, because the residency is a problem if they haven't gone through the interview, if they haven't passed.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I think it won't be a problem. Now, again, I don't know. I'm not them. They haven't said anything. But what I'm saying is, usually when you're in that probationary period, you're not really supposed to leave the country. Was he married to Phil? No, yeah, no, he's married to that gentleman. No. Hey, Black Grandpa, shout out from Brampton, Ontario, Canada.
Hey, what's going on?
This is Moore says, I'm confused. Somehow this does not sound like her. No, no, no. See, that's the thing. Yeah, it doesn't sound like his living situation is at risk. Correct. Hey, Marion. Marion Habanero. Hello, guys. Follow Chance that George is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Peter George Strauss says never. He said that with the ones we said earlier. They just arrived and
Expat
checked in.
Prepper, you've been around long enough to know what Philippine Antics is. So the fact you said this one is just drama, and then the other one, okay, so this one is drama, news, and antics, and the other is standard. No, this channel's been standard for us too. We just do more live streams. We have tons of videos that cover everything. This one is more of the live stream channel. All of our future expat videos that are coming out will go on the other. We'll probably put the pets on the other channel, and just it'll be a mix of multi videos on it. So it's just another channel.
Yeah, Paul says they just arrived and just gonna do a check-in.
So they just arrived. Yeah.
Which also they've said on Reddit, be aware that again in Reddit they even said, wait, hold on. So
That's a lot of money to
let me
take
get this
out.
straight. How would they know when and where to hit them?
Correct. That even had that. I mean, it would just it doesn't make any sense to me that it wasn't done at the ATM, it was done near the vehicle at the hotel itself. So they just injured him to the point of extinction and took the bag, not knowing how much money
And
was in there.
the MO usually, again, I'm not the one asking these questions because there's a lot of people out there. I mean, this is on the internet, guys. I mean, everybody knows about this. A lot of people are questioning. Wait, to my understanding, the only time they terminate you is because you know them or you can identify them.
Mhm.
Now, that's up to you guys whether you believe this too or not. But in my experience, yeah, usually most of the time, people, these people who rob people, usually just hit and run, rob and go, run. And the only time they usually X-nay somebody is if there's something really messed up with them, aka, they're under the influence, that kind of deal, or they can be identified. So, as actually ironically, the next comment is was Lightworthy
And didn't
says
they say it was a car?
inside job.
Because it says here that the guy had a helmet on and everything.
Well, they were in a car.
It says that the guy was wearing a helmet
Yeah, they were in a car.
with a
That's
helmet on.
no, they were.
Ah.
They were. Yeah. Now, unless some other stories
The
out there.
suspect jumped out of an SUV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's a different story.
Wearing a helmet.
Right.
Gerald Caesar said a Filipino native had put the wads of money inside of their bag. The masked guy, the robber, yanked the bag, and then there was a single shot.
Yeah.
So they took the bag and then did it.
See, that's the problem I have with the pandemic. It when they say mask, nowadays wearing a mask. Back then, when you wear a mask, you're sus. Now it's just normal. So unfortunately, that's not. What I'm saying is, if somebody approaches you with a mask back then, you'd run.
While
You'd
we
hit that
were,
gas. You know what I'm saying?
it says while we were withdrawing, an SUV had drove up next to us, and a man stepped out of it. So it's like in advance he had seen it happening or something. I guess he just didn't. He just shouldn't have. That's a lot of money for anybody, even for an American in the Philippines. It's something that the husband or the YouTube Filipino vlogger should have known. Having that kind of money,
Okay, now
the expat should have known too, or
no,
the
it's not that.
American.
The one I was trying to get at is I question that story. You know why, guys? If
Mm,
the what Heidi just read. Okay, remember this is new to me. For what Heidi just read is
from the article, by the way.
while they were withdrawing. Okay, guys, you guys are smart enough, right? I mean, you are here in Philippine Antics watching. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna hit somebody at an ATM, which, because again,
Hey,
I
Jennifer.
quote, while they were withdrawing, you're not just gonna get what they have on them. You're gonna clean back. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to establish here is be careful of the information you disseminate from online because again, I disagree. I don't think they were while they were withdrawing because if they were withdrawing, you guys know if somebody sticks you up at an ATM machine, they're not just gonna grab what you have on you. They're gonna clean bank.
I'm confused. You mean clean bank?
You have the ATM. You're at an ATM while you're withdrawing.
Yeah.
What you're gonna just like? No, I'm gonna like. Okay, give me all you got. Withdraw it all. You're telling me this expat only had $800, and it's possible. It's not a lot for somebody in the
Well,
Philippines
there's
to.
going to be a limit too. Even the banks on the other end, don't they limit? You can sit there and withdraw all day long if it's in the bank.
Yeah, I guess makes sense. But that's news to me though. That's the first time I've heard this part.
Hmm.
I'd probably take the ATM, get the debit card number. And everything.
You probably would. You shady.
No, I mean, is there a chance that they'll shut it down? Yeah, but still worth a shot.
It just doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot of things that don't add up. You know what I'm saying? And again, guys, feel free to add to the story because again, we're not the only ones who. There's a lot more people have more questions than we do. I'm just saying. Tito says
Or not.
no, 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 no. Yeah, it wasn't a pistol. Yeah, it was a shotgun. That's what he said.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But yeah, I wouldn't have put it up.
Hey, Filipino P, what coffee mug of the week? It's the singles coffee
Yeah.
singles
And the one where we're using George.
tater tot
Tater tot. George beat me
tater
up.
tot.
George beat that poor cat up. He beat it up.
Lou says looks like he was forced to an ATM at 9 p.m. Even in Texas, I will not go to the ATM. Correct. At those hours, and what for? Correct. There's no need. Unless I'm inside. Right. Exactly.
even
Unless
then,
you're
they're
going
inside.
clubbing. Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, unless
Exactly.
no, and it's a huge amount of money to take out at night. Why not just 10,000 pesos? Why did they need so much?
Yeah,
that
and that's
late at
another
night?
thing. Like you said. Now Lou actually says, unless I'm inside a gentleman's club, because they usually do have ATMs inside the club. But point being is, do they have exorbitant fees? Yeah, but I'd rather be in the club and be safer than be out there and not safe.
It just seems like a high amount. You would have to understand wages versus the amount of money you would need. I just don't know why that late at night they needed that kind of money. So
Yeah. Tito George says the guy was ex-nade, not robbed. Paulo Chicano says, George, you look like a low rider. You you fitting good, man. What's the tool? Anyway,
what is it?
I-
Really? What are you serious right now?
no habla español. No
You
no
do.
sabe español. No puede.
No puede nothing, my puede duck my butt.
Um, Filipino P says in Texas, the robbers will get a lead, a lead belly. Oh, a lead belly. Okay.
here's the thing. That's almost always a deadly shot. That's just it. That seemed more personal and that will come personally from me, let alone what's on the internet. I mean, it was any time that here, I got to consult with him for a second. Consult.
Oh,
Yeah, he's just discussing how fatal it is. We can't say it on air, but
yeah.
I'm sorry. So I don't know why somebody, if it was just over walking up, there was just no sense. I mean, there's been a lot of things going on. Like I was just telling George this morning that I was reading an article where two Filipinos got into it over a guy that was making coconut juice or whatever. He hit his finger. The story goes somewhere along. He hit his hand with the hammer. The friend or the person there, I don't know if it was a friend or not. I thought they said it was a friend, laughed at him and they got into it, and it was a full out war on each other. And there was somebody that was terminated in that one too. And they were like, "Oh, he had all kinds of gashes on him," and the final one was what terminated his life. And I'm like, "Holy crap!" Over laughing at somebody. You guys think it's a joke here? But there's
I probably better just shush. Anyway, nothing to do with Heidi. I'm just talking about the story because I didn't want to go out of anyway. Peter George says no reason to
see you
be
later,
that
second
late
win.
at an ATM. George, no, it
And
shouldn't
that's
be.
a lot of money.
No,
It's still a lot of money when a good wage here, 25 to 30,000 pesos is really good money here for most Filipinos, 15 to 20,000. And then you had somebody that had almost 50,000 out of an ATM all at once. That's almost a max draw. That is four amounts of the 200, which there's ATMs have their limits here. We're lucky. Usually if we withdraw, what is it? 20,000 at a time, 30,000, but then we go straight home or we go to pay the bill we're supposed to.
PNB will allow you to withdraw 25,000.
Okay. See, so how he got that out of a direct resort's even crazier in my opinion. That means he made at least four withdrawals. So that means he was standing there. What would you need all that money for?
Yeah, and if they were
I mean, were they going to
there,
a banana club?
what I'm saying is, if they were there to do it, what I'm saying is, if they were there doing it at that exact time, like, hey, you better, you know, turn over your cash off your ATM, he would have said it in their interview, but he didn't mention it in the interview.
I wish you would have. I mean, I didn't think we needed it, but 20 minutes before I said to get clips of the interview, but that's okay. We keep talking about the interview, but we don't have.
What?
There is an interview on Facebook, but yeah, I get.
It doesn't match a lot of things. It's kind of anyway. Studio Potter says this sucks. Of course it does. Of course it does. Oh, sorry. Pouchcano, no. I agree. This extermination seems somewhat like a setup. Seen. Okay. Again, remember, allegedly, whatever. Again, there's a lot of people that not only you say that. There's a lot of people who say that. Lou says when I was in Zamboanga City, I always withdraw money from the ATM in the morning or afternoon, never at night. WTF? Correct. Well, actually, it doesn't matter what city you're in. Again, I'm pretty sure even you guys, even in your hometown, you don't usually withdraw money that late of night. What are you gonna do with it? Unless,
Mhm.
again, you're clubbing. That's the only reason why you're withdrawing money from ATM at that late of night is
Yeah,
you're clubbing.
Sarah says here many of the ATMs have pretty small allowances on those withdrawals.
Correct.
You have to give a pre-request for a larger withdrawal and getting it during hours inside. Correct. When then it's the same as in the United States. I just don't get why you would do it at night, and I definitely wouldn't do it in a province area out at a resort in the middle of nowhere like that. That is asking for like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like a spot says, hello, hello. I missed the start. Hope all is well with you all. I heard about this last night. So unfortunate. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Like a
Thank
spot.
you.
Paul says it was a motorcycle.
Yeah, here it said it was a car. Both articles say it was yeah.
and that's why we said
Where did you get the
be
motorcycle part of it? I
careful
mean, I
of
know
what I'm saying is there's a lot of things that don't match in the story.
the radio stations are all saying something different. So,
Right.
as a matter of fact, one of his things on one of his on his because he has multiple Facebook pages, it said something about they had the stories wrong.
Yeah, and like Boss says again, wow, different stories. Phew. Right, exactly. Exactly. Um
Oh, the
oh.
humidity in here is just ridiculous.
Vlogging life. Well, here's the thing, vlogging life. Now this is true. This is true. Everywhere I withdraw, there are always security with shotguns. Yes.
Yeah, so it'd be
However, that's during business hours. And that's the problem with this story is somehow this expat couple decided to withdraw. Okay, it's even in the US, $800 still a good amount of
yeah.
money.
I mean, I don't think we'd have went. Isn't there a limit like 500 at some banks on a withdrawal? I thought some of them banks had a limit.
Well, point is, it's like you shouldn't be out withdrawing money that late at night unless you're clubbing. And usually at the club, like somebody said, Lou actually said it. Even here in the Philippines, there's usually an ATM right there at the club. Yes, because they know. In fact, one of my life hacks here in Angeles, if if there's a calamity, guys, listen. If there's a calamity, aka a hurricane or whatever, or tornado, or even an earthquake, whatever, it doesn't matter. If there's a calamity, the banks are out of money because everybody flocks to the banks. You go to the clubs because they have ATMs, and Filipinos don't want to withdraw money from the ATMs over there because they
Just
have
because you up in there boozing it up and slapping it up, and you already know to get your money out of there because it's always available. Doesn't mean
correct.
you
There's
redirect
usually
everybody.
money in the club ATMs. Point being, there are ATMs in the clubs. That's what I'm trying to establish. Correct. And they always have money. Of course, the club owners make sure that the ATMs have money. But anyway, um, Vienna Wilson says, "So I want to visit the Philippines and get robbed at ATM. Never going there." Well, I mean, like guys, even the U.S. or West, you don't go to an ATM late at night unless you're in a club. And again, most of the time, clubs have ATM. Sarah says many ATMs have pretty small allowance for withdrawal. You have to give a pre-request for a larger withdrawal and get it during the hours inside. Correct.
Okay. So also besides that post made, he did post family photos on his page, but here he is less than 2 days ago saying it sounds like you're really frustrated with the way the news and services are being handled, and it's understandable. Accuracy is so important, especially when it comes to both news reporting and business providing services like CCTV for safety and security. Inaccurate and unprofessional actions can make things more stressful, especially if people trust you. I hear you're calling out lack of professionalism and that you're expecting better accountability, both the news outlet and businesses involved. When things like this happens, it can be tough to deal with. It seems like you want an apology for how things were handled, especially in regards to your experience. Oh, maybe this is where he
No,
because he
no,
had it out. It
no,
sounds
no,
like
no, no.
this
This
is
is when he was attacking the media. Yes.
well, I think it's actually the hotel that he was attacking. That's a response from the hotel. See, even news makes public confusion, it
Yeah.
says.
No, no, no.
So he
There's
talks about, yeah, the Brigada News, the Hillview, which was the hotel, and he was going through and saying things about them. So, yeah. Yeah, here's another one where he was talking about the price versus what they paid and different things that were going on. 3 days ago, I thought Hillview it was safe with the CCTV there. So they have a CCTV of this. But I'm very satisfied. So you can't pay people's bills to me because of your CCTV decorations. That's the only answer to the Maritesses. The life will be surprised when it comes to the news. It will come back to all of you. Just wait, is what he said. That was 3 days ago. So, well,
Well,
yeah, I mean, it all looks kind of, yeah,
I
of course people are talking.
I don't know about you guys, but CCTV never made me feel safe ever in my entire life. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean there's a CCTV. It's crime free. No, in fact, most of the crimes are in front of CCTV. Anyway,
Yeah.
Smell Me Happy says tater tot rules. Yes,
Tater
yes, tater tot
tot.
rules. Yes. Michael Taylor says most banks in the USA have limits in ATM. I've heard $500 limits. I think mine is 15.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like 5 or
Yeah.
something.
Sarah Tyson says I was with the Filipino Uber driver Sunday night from New York Airport. The driver told me,
Another, yeah, I need to call her.
"Oh, I see." Um,
Yeah, with the elections and everything.
Now paychecks are prepper again. Right now, there's a 4 month weapons. It's a firearm ban is a really not a good word for it because it's actually a weapons ban, really.
Mhm.
Even if you have papers, it doesn't matter. Um, Pocket knives, stuff like that, you're not allowed to have any form of weaponry on you during election season. Yeah, due to election, sure, the weapon ban on criminals work. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, of course. They're not going to follow that. It again, laws only apply to law-abiding citizens. Um, but no, again, you guys can argue with me on this. Actually, at least PH Checks Pat Pepper actually stated that it doesn't matter if you have papers on, you have the right to carry your weapon during election season. Doesn't matter what weapon it is, you're not allowed to carry any form of weapon. Anyway, um,
Yeah, I'm reading this person, Studio Potter. It's kind of odd, some of the statements, because at one point after he makes a few statements, is this Jim from Jim and Dexel's Mr. Piggery? No, this is somebody totally different. This is in the
oh,
newspapers. No, something totally different.
Paul says even if he's in the process of getting GC, he can still leave the U.S. with a. Huh?
With advanced parole. I have no idea what that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I don't.
all he needs to do is call and change it to widower's category. Yeah, I figured there will be some adjustments. He has to adjust, yes. So, huh, that's weird. Did the stream go bye bye?
No, I think it's him. If nobody else said anything.
Yeah, because he said
Yeah,
something about it went black. Yeah,
yeah,
no, we still see it's here.
because they're calling to each other. A lot of
Yeah.
times I don't.
How bad is Zamboanga City?
Okay, it's the northern part, not so much. Remember, it it's kind of like New York. You can't just say New York is bad because a lot of New Yorkers will say no, parts of New York are bad. Same thing with Zamboanga.
Or there's just bad people and just
Well, and
opportunity.
then
I
that's
mean, it could
another thing.
always happen. Them
That's a
same
good point.
people
You can
could
be in
be
upstate New York and
them same
bad
people
things
could
happen
be
to
up
you.
there
Correct.
that are doing stuff. Yeah, they
No.
could be on vacation too. Who knows?
But as a
I
general rule, the further south you are, the
yeah. Well, here's the thing. I just yeah.
Angelo says people watching you at night ATM. I go to the mall in the morning. Be correct. You never go to an ATM at night, guys. In any country. Um, don't go in the same spot all the time. They find your location out. Right, correct. Well, right. Palilime, which means don't go straight home, as they say. You go in. You do a different route all the time. I know that's really hard to do, by the way. But anyway,
Mhm.
Gee, there's another one. I still want to know where was the boat taking Elliot if they haven't though. Right? I know, true story. Yeah. Nobody at all says my girl is an accountant person at her school. She regularly carried 40,000 pesos for the school, and she hated it doing it.
yeah.
I think they stopped that last year due to the risk. No, no. Well, certain jobs again. This it comes with the territory. You know, it's kind of like this. The armed guards to grab the money at at every 7-Eleven, that kind of deal. I get it. Did I do that kind of work in the U.S.? Yes, and I hated it. I mean, I hated it not because of. I mean, granted, to be honest with you guys, all I did was put in my backpack and walk, and of course, nobody would suspect anything. But if somebody knew, if it was an inside job, if somebody ratted her out, yeah, dangerous.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. We were watching a vlogger that had an incident that happened to him a year or two ago. I still think it was an inside job on that situation.
For the
Their
most
house
part,
being broken.
yeah, most crimes are inside jobs. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was the
Yeah.
housekeeper.
Filipino PX on podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Justin Bill says get a charge swab ATM card. They refund their fee from outside ATM.
Hey, Philip.
M Doggy Full says smells like bad.
Yeah.
Hey Philip Macy, how you doing?
Good morning.
Just wanted to stop say hi. Heidi and George joined the conversation late, but sounds like another expat became victim in Mindanao. Sad. No, it is. It's very sad. Jose says I'm gonna be there end of March till 2 weeks into April. I should worry about election seasons or something. No, no, not really. The only thing about elections again is you can't carry any form of weapon, and better stay away from any political parties. Literally, just stay away from them for a lot of reasons. Yeah, in all probability, they're not going to target you. They'll target a electoral candidate. Put it that way. That's usually when it happens.
Let me see your other.
Huh? What's that?
Mm. Okay. Oh, Jennifer.
Huh? Long pinky nail is a we.
Oh, it's a weapon. I think she's saying weapon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Sometimes you were growing your nails for the guitar, but yeah, no, anything.
Yeah. Philip Mason says if I need to go to Mindanao, then probably would stick with Davao or Northern. Okay, now Philip Macy's since Philip Macy brought it up. Davao, when he said Davao, to clarify again, I'm sure this is what Philip Macy means. Remember, there's differences between cities and provinces. There's a Davao province, there's a Davao city, there's a Quezon province, there's a Quezon city. Beware of and be aware of the differences. I'm pretty sure Philip Macy meant Davao City. Okay. The reason why I say this because Davao City is one of the safer cities. I wouldn't say safest city anymore, only because I won't go deep into that because this is not what it's about. But Davao City is one of the safer cities. Now Davao Province is a different story. Okay. Davao City is like in a bubble. Everybody most criminals don't know not to go into Davao City because or else the moment you walk outside Davao City, and this is from a Filipino. I'm not talking as an expat. Even Filipinos know this. In fact, when he says northern Mindanao, the port cities are kind of mm, relatively safe. for those of you wondering what am I talking about, for example, Surigao City is a northern city. It's depending on where you're at, and then Surigao, I'm sure you guys heard of Surigao Island. That is part of Mindanao, guys. Okay. So again, is Surigao Island safe? You guys know that. I mean, you go to a fancy island with expats everywhere. Of course, there's going to be crime, but of course, the police are at
Everybody has to assess their own
correct.
risk.
But what I'm
risk
saying is,
assessment
as a general
situation.
rule, even Filipinos in Mindanao, they know not to flaunt. They know not to. They know to behave. They
Okay.
know to stay in their lane. No, again,
So,
Filipinos.
would you
No,
go
I
by
know.
yourself?
I won't. No,
What about taking me?
only in Davao City and in Surigao.
Surigao or
There's an old saying,
call it-
and again, this is from Filipinos, not
Crack-
expats, not
Cracker City by the ocean.
you guys know. There's a saying that the U.S. saying, you f around, you find out. That's the island where
F-A-F-O.
Filipinos say you don't f around Mindanao or else you'll find out. Filipinos say this to Filipinos, not expats. What I'm saying is, if Filipinos say this to Filipinos, what do you think of expats? It's worse.
Election
You
time.
you know
in
you keep your
Mindanao,
head
right?
down, you stay low in that area. Filipinos do this.
You do that in the kitchen.
Well, that's a different story. I mean, that bacon is like,
No bacon for you. It looks
that's
like
Giza, Giza territory.
not even go there.
Yeah.
Looks like this must be one of his sisters, Janet. It says it's heartbreaking. She says 2 days ago, I'm sad to share that we lost Ralph to a violent crime in the Philippines. He was robbed and his life was terminated. Us girls are very devastated, as is our mom and dad. So looks like they made almost an immediate statement. So yeah, I'm looking to see. There's like 94 comments. Basically, just a lot of condolences and stuff. But I still find the whole thing just odd. The whole story coming from the husband, or the Filipinos page, and the photos less than 2 weeks before of him posing those famous poses, and but whose marriage is perfect? George does that all the time. So, right, babe?
Yes. Yeah, if you guys want to see those photos, just go to georgeonlyfans.com.
You know that ain't true. I just put you out there and sign them and give them out. As a Filipino, you ain't got no fans only page. It is against the rules. So sorry.
What do you mean against the rules?
Yes. You are joking.
It's in the Philippines, so it's legal.
No, it's not.
I'm joking. Yes, I'm joking.
Let's see. Here's a radio station here. An investigation and hot pursuit operation of authorities in Trento Station ongoing in relation to the attack that ended the life of a foreigner on February 2nd at 9:30 at night in Trento. The person was identified. Weirdly, they give out his address too. The radio stations and newspaper here keep giving out his home address.
If you do anything in the Philippines and you become relevant, they have no problem divulging your
But here's the
information.
thing: this is where the Filipino lives. So when he goes home, everybody online now has his physical address, and they know everything now
It
officially.
is what it is.
Ralph Eugene Manecki, 56, married. Yeah, he's married to the Filipino. When I first seen the article, I thought, he was just here spending time with his boyfriend or something, and then going further into it, turns out he's married to the Filipino in the U.S. It says he's a company supervisor, and it gives his address. Incredible.
No, they will. Yeah.
So
It's kind of sad because, again, for example, if somebody does a crime here, they'll post the address. It's kind of weird, but no, they do. They do.
looking through, here's the official
Yeah.
police. So the police themselves.
Let me see. Yeah,
Design, or
it's beside it. Yeah.
it's like what's it called? Try to cover it.
Yeah. Philip Macy says yes. I meant Davao City. Again, remember, there's um, I knew what he meant, Davao City, because again, remember, be aware when somebody says this area. I'm sure you've heard me in whenever me and Heidi talk about certain areas. I would say I always clarify the city or the province because again, there's Rizal City, there's Rizal Province, that kind of deal.
See, it came up with
Yeah.
violates their usage policy.
Kind of like New York City, New York State. That's the difference. There's a difference between them.
Interesting. So at first it processed it and turned it to English, and then it cut me off in Chat GPT and said that it violated policy.
You need to pay.
Oh, hush up. You need to pay every day.
Chris Craig
Hush,
says
hush
3
up.
Americans, and last year, my guess is he cooperated and the pump pulled the trigger anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of
No, it's possible. It's possible.
Maritesses out there because
It's possible.
kind of like we were saying about Elliot. and
Oh,
some
that's
stuff
right.
is-
That's another thing.
what's that?
Pause makes a good point. Election time. Good luck going to Mindanao. That's right. So not only did he bring him to a questionable area, he brought him in a questionable time.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, because you can just be randomly pew-pewed and non-existent just from being in the line. Yeah, there's a lot going
Yeah.
on.
Now, don't again. Remember, he could be just doesn't think that way. He just probably. I mean, I'm saying is I don't know where the safety barriers are in this relationship. I mean, whether it's him who doesn't have safety concerns at all. When I say it's him, it applies to both. We don't know if it's the expat who doesn't have safety barriers, if it's the Filipino who doesn't have safety barriers, but obviously somebody or both don't have safety barriers wherein they say, hey, it's election time. Maybe we shouldn't be out here. Oh, hey, maybe.
They referred to the husband or the Filipino as the wife. It said Menechny is in connection with LGBTQ. He's a resident in Boston. Based on the investigation from Trento, the victim was with his legal wife that withdrew money over 50,000 pesos. But when they were going to a well known resort, the victim was then suddenly attacked, and the sling bag carrying his legal Pinoy girlfriend was immediately taken. This is not translated, this is just in English. Was immediately taken by the suspects in the wrong direction. Um, they're doing an investigation. And more than likely, a lot of these investigations just fizzle out, sadly. They do that in the US too.
I wish I could say the things in my head, but anyway.
Don't worry,
Hey, Thomas, how you doing? Thomas Bills Jr.
Hey,
says,
Thomas.
you've given great advice over the years about money and flashing cash. This situation doesn't make sense to me. Appreciate your video. No, it doesn't, because again, the Filipino in this case, in not again, there's a lot. The word here in the Philippines use the word netizens, which means in the internet, the people on the internet. The netizen consensus is that the Filipino kind of brought this American expat somewhat not quite safe area. That kind of thing. Yeah. Um, Macy says, okay, how about General Santos City? I know some vloggers out there that are like to visit, but not sure if that's stupid or idea or even short. Again, certain areas are safe, certain areas are not. Same thing here in Angeles. There's certain areas that I won't go into. And there's certain areas that I'll be okay, but Heidi wouldn't. For example, again, when I was looking for a place for us to live in, um, people would say stuff like, you'll be okay, but not her. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, again, a decent Filipino will tell you, you'll be okay, but just so you know, your expat partner won't be, that kind of deal. Or
Just looking for
they could say
additional.
something like, you could, if you were born and raised here, you'll be okay, but since you came from the US, you probably won't be. That kind of deal. They'll, because Filipinos are, don't get me wrong, Filipinos aren't, like, "Yeah." No, we know we can look at a Filipino, whether they're born and raised here, whether they're, born and raised in the US, or if they're balikbayans, they came from here, they came from here, went to the US and came back, that kind of deal. They can tell. And depending on the area, there's different levels of safety.
Safety, schmafety, pasty,
Hey Ruby,
tasty. Hey,
good day,
Ruby.
Heidi and George. Hey Ruby. Hey Sperling Edwards, hello from Nepata.
You know where I'm safe? Sitting here in the air conditioning, on the internet, using Gcash.
Yeah. Now, see, for example, Angelo says Davao is full of thugs and gangsters. Okay. Now, you guys will probably be like, okay, she mentioned Davao. Does she mean Davao City or Davao? Actually, she's talking about Davao City now. And then you're like, wait a minute, did you just say Davao is safe? No, I said it's relatively safe. However, they know better to lay low and do what's the in the U.S. We call them misdemeanors, I guess, but here, I forgot the term. They have a term here, but anyway, they try to stick with low level crimes here. Put it that way. Or else, no, really, it's an or else thing, or else they're, even if it's no, really, they have a very low tolerance in Davao City. That's why it's relatively safe. Remember when I use the word relatively. Because again, there's always crime everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. There's, I mean, if no,
Use some common
yeah,
sense,
no
even
city
if
in
you're
the world is
tired.
crime free. I mean, if
Because I'm trying to figure out, maybe he was just tired and didn't want to go back. Maybe, I don't know what would, who would have suggested taking that much money out. It's kind of hard to say. It's kind of a big old thing.
yeah, could he have been trailed from the ATM? Yes. Could he have been hit at the ATM? Which I doubt. Yes, he could have. Um, there's a lot of could have. Black Grandpa says, has the Philippine law enforcement ever solved a murder case when the killer left the scene? Yes, actually, a lot, a lot.
They do.
The
They
the,
do.
the police is more than adequate than people realize. Really.
It's more than adequate in this room.
Right. And especially if certain things are, well, how should I say? If there is no political involvement, there's a really good chance it will be solved. Put it that way. Um,
Why not?
Studio Potter says, I don't need anyone's advice on how to use my common sense. Really, if you need advice on how to travel safe, then don't travel. If you can't buy an umbrella at your destination, you can't afford to go. Chris Craig says Korean expats are getting robbed and effed all the time. Doesn't make headlines. Got to protect the tourists. Okay. Well, remember, there's a different level of. Okay, I'm not.
You better be racist.
No, that's what I
They're
was gonna
not
say.
creamy enough.
Has nothing to do with that.
They're
It's
not cracker enough.
what I'm
Different
saying
type of
is,
cracker.
it's not me. It's that. I mean, I'm not. I'm not racist by any means, and I really don't. In fact, I don't kill anything.
KLM.
I don't kill bugs. I don't kill anything, even ants. Even if they bite me, most of the time I just brush them off because I'm really a non-violent guy, and I really. I mean, what I'm saying is, if I care about ants, much more of people.
That's what he did to that poor cat.
Yes, because she squished the bug. But what I'm saying is, now in the Philippines, there's a certain level of racism to an extent. Because I'm gonna be honest, even in the U.S., even
Even in
in
this
Britain,
house.
it doesn't matter what country you're
Even in
in.
this house.
There's a form of racism.
Because I was
Okay.
like, the other day there was a kidnapping or something, and I forgot what it was, and it was a Chinese person. I was like, oh,
Right. Now,
okay. She says it's still an expat.
what I'm
I said,
saying
okay.
is, yeah, remember there was that somebody in our live, they said, "Oh, an expat got kidnapped," and I looked it up, and Heidi looked it. A lot of people looked it up,
Right,
and it
then
was a Chinese. And guess what?
we
Did it make the news? Did it really make big
no,
news?
right,
No.
no. But here's the thing: we both at the same time said, "Oh, okay."
Now, the reason being is not because of the
I
nationality.
mean, it's CLM on that too.
It's
Chinese
kind of like
lives matter.
this. It's kind of like, for instance, in the U.S., if something happens to a Mexican, I'm going to tell you right now, most Americans are like, "Oh, okay." You get it?
Just a horrible little world out there. That's all.
What I'm saying is,
Especially with now the social media.
the Chinese and Koreans are so normal here that a lot of Filipinos don't treat them as expats anymore.
Speaking of which, on a side note, when they did Groundhog Day the other day and they had Punxsutawney Phil, I had like an aha moment. And I was telling George, I said, when I looked upon the crowd, first off, I realized like, and I'm overweight, right? I noticed how overweight the people were in the crowd and stuff. And I looked again and I said, hey, George, they all look alike. I said, all of these guys look alike to me, the females, the males. And when I first got here to the Philippines, it seemed like everybody looked alike. But see,
Oh, that's different though. That's different. But
well,
what
I'm
I'm
just
saying
saying,
is,
I had
here in
like
the
an aha
Philippines,
moment where
if
I guess I've been here
and
for so
again, if
long.
you're of these races, I don't mean to offend you, but
Oh, please.
here's the no. I'm being honest here. Here's the thing: if you're Indian, not American Indian, if you're Indian from India, if you're Chinese, if you're Korean, the Filipinos don't really see you as an expat anymore. They see you as everybody else. You get it?
Mhm.
Now you can take that with a grain of salt because you have to think, oh, so what are you saying? Well, I'm saying that you were kind of accepted, but remember, since you're kind of accepted, you're not an exception. You get it? It's kind of like a catch 22. You know, when I see an Indian guy here, I just, of course, I'll greet him, say hi, whatever. But it's not like a German guy. For example, me and Heidi, we saw a German guy. Oh, a German guy. You get the picture?
Mhm.
It's because it's not a common thing. But Indians, Koreans, and Chinese are so common that we accept them. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? But you see a German guy. Oh, hey, how you doing? Where are you from? That kind of deal. You guys get my picture? Again, it's not a racist thing. It's just that people accept you already because you're common now. You're not exceptional. Um,
Battle cat.
Black Grandpa says if you're a foreigner in any country where you're surrounded by residents below poverty line, they think you're rich and you're getting robbed or yeah. Yes, you'll get X-nated, correct.
I mean, there's a level. I still feel safe here. I seen Old Dog that did a video with Mike's retirement. Philippine retirement, and he did like an interview and answered the questions. And he asked him, did he feel safer here than the U.S.? And he answered yes. And I'm kind of along with it. That right now it's just a crazy world to begin with. I mean, so people just need to use their common sense. For some reason, they get here and they just think there's nothing. I don't know why people let their guards down when they go overseas.
Yeah, it's like don't do something you won't do in where you're at.
You'd be all
Here.
paranoid over there if you were going
Correct.
to the bank.
Again, a lot of you guys will agree. Nobody goes into the ATM at late at night. That no. Now
Yeah.
this is the thing a lot of people don't understand, and I will address this because a lot of you are new. Jeffrey also says, explain to me how skin tax isn't racism. Because
It's
skin
called
tax,
walletism.
yeah, it's classism.
Yeah, walletism.
Do I get skin tax? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Am I Filipino? Ding ding ding. Yes.
Wait a minute, I beg to differ on that.
Born and raised. Some people say you have a hard time speaking the language. Yeah, in Tagalog. I have a hard time speaking Tagalog, but not my native tongue.
Which
But
is?
Kapampangan.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I speak up. Put it this way. Tagalog speakers, during my time, nobody spoke Tagalog.
Yeah.
Teachers didn't speak Tagalog.
And now, yeah.
Now, I'm lucky if I speak to Kapampangan.
Well, here's the thing also, it's the way you dress.
Well,
And then if you
yeah,
bring
yeah,
me,
but
we're getting
my
double
point
skin
is,
tax.
it's not, it's classism.
Mm.
Like Heidi says, it's the way I dress. It's
Yeah.
not because of the color of my skin. It's not because of my race.
And you don't have any accent. Like almost 98% of Filipinos that speak even good English, you can still hear accents. I can hear one in the Filipino P. I can hear them in the ones
No,
that
no,
have
no. A
perfect
lot of even
English, you
even
can still
senators
hear.
say
Oh,
that
yeah,
speak English in the Philippines have
yeah, they
accents. Yes,
sound
but what I'm saying is,
Hispanic, Asian at the
it's
same
right.
time. And it's so when George talks the same as I do, they think you were just born and raised over there, and we're just returning for retirement.
Now,
So
yeah,
the bananas turn into $7 bananas.
is there racism in the Philippines? Yes, and it's not what you think. I have experienced racism in the Philippines from Filipino because they don't want to deal with a Filipino. They want to deal with expats.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I have a suggestion on the skin tax thing. Me and George has this thing that we'll pay once, but we just never go back to
No,
like
the
the
moment
stands or the stores.
somebody skin tax us, no, I just say,
We
you know
pay
what,
them, and we
just
don't
forget
try to
about it.
fight with them. I would just walk away and pay them if you need the
We'll just
items.
never ever go there again, and it's their loss because it's return business. You know what I'm saying? So no. Skin tax is not racism. It's classism. And guess what? You talk a lot of Filipinos, they'll tell you this too. It's actually
You're still
not
my girl.
nothing to do with
I
the
know
color
you
of your
mad
skin.
right now. She's been my baby since Bella left. Ow. Ow. Gee whiz. Hey, maybe we can reckon a new name for Bella and we'll call her Tater Tot.
Yes. Yes.
Tater Tot.
TikTok kitty, here we come. Anyway,
I know she might beat you up. She lost a lot of weight out there jumping fences and stuff.
Paul
Because the
says,
people
you
let
know
her in
he's
and
a
out of the
racist.
house.
Now, in all fairness,
That's gonna be rough.
some Filipinos are racist. Of course, that's in any race. There are certain races in there.
And right
Yeah.
now there's going to be a lot of issues based on Americans just what actually is going on. It's getting crazy, with all the stuff going on in America. They just put another article out about the funds being cut from the U.S. aid, and they're going on about how that's going to affect the Philippines. And the only two countries they didn't cut off was Israel and Egypt. And so it's amazing and stuff. So Americans aren't exactly like to begin with, and then this stuff happens. It's kind of
Yeah. Like Sniper says, I've been going to the Philippines since 2014. I've never had a problem, but I only went to Cebu and Leyte, Tacloban, or Ormoc City. I've never had a problem. Yes, for the most
yeah. I've
part,
just been in Pampanga myself.
if you're if you're just being smart about it or just lucky, um, no, you'll be okay. It's kind of like when we went to Mexico. There's certain places that we know we shouldn't go, and we did avoid them. You get it? And we listened to the locals. And again, for example, we went to Puebla. Puebla is a relatively safe place, and I say relatively because it's like the Angeles city of that area. But again, the 7-Eleven girl says, please don't go past the 7-Eleven. You know what I'm saying? And then we listen. You know what I'm saying? Again, well, that's different. But what I'm saying is, again, you if you have any form of safeguards, again, that's why I said I don't know who has lack of safeguards in this couple, but somebody did, and they broke them. And I'm not victim blaming him. All I'm saying is just don't give bad people an opportunity. Again, for example, don't
Yeah, don't
go
give him a
to an
head start,
ATM.
man.
Go to an ATM in weird hours. That kind of deal. Don't flash your wallet out in public. You know what I'm saying? Don't wear gold jewelry and gold. Don't bling out in public. Like, for example, when we were in Florida, um, I don't know if you still have some of our videos where I actually wore bling when I was in Florida, but guess what? The moment we entered Mexico, all of that disappeared. In fact, see, Ted like got us watches, but it's my habit now to take them off. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
Same thing with
I walk a
necklaces.
I
Heidi
walk
buys me necklaces. I don't wear them because,
I
yeah,
just I just get to wear my fur coat and all that in the
yeah. And for
house.
example, Heidi, you can see her wear bling on her earrings when she's doing a live, but she
Which
takes them
even
off
then,
most of the time.
right, but even then, I don't wear most of my stuff for multiple reasons.
Right,
So
right. And the necklaces I got her, that kind of deal.
you just have to take
The
precaution.
rings,
Like when you hire in, like I believe that person that had their house robbed a while back. There's been several of them this year that it's
yeah. Don't
happened
be
to. We believe it's
stupid.
an inside job. If you're leaving
Most of
long
the
term
time,
to
it's an
go on
inside job.
vacation, it's a good chance it's somebody
It's an
that's been
inside
working
job.
in your house. They know where the items were, especially being only some of the stuff was taken out of the house. And so this has happened multiple times. There was that one YouTubing woman that had all that money
I'm gonna
disappeared.
be honest
She
with
had
you.
two house people.
If you're on vacation, okay, how do you know it's an inside job if you get robbed? No, I'm not making this up. If you're in the Philippines, okay, and you went out on vacation, you left your pad for some reason, okay, listen, okay, I'm telling you right now, as the expat who told this story, listen, if you go out on a vacation, you leave your house and you come back and you get robbed and you're missing items, it's an inside job. And you're like, how do you know,
Especially if they
George?
know when you're returning.
Yeah. You know how you know, George?
Why would
You
you
know how
say?
you know? Because they'll clean you out, furniture and all. If it's not an inside job, they will clean you
Yeah,
out.
like two of these jobs, they only took like three items out of their house.
If that's
Could be
what
an
really
ex-wife.
happened to you, if they left your furniture and stuff like that, that's called a mercy. They left those because that inside job, they'll lose the inside job if they did that to you. You
Yeah,
get it?
yeah, they didn't even take any computers, no equipment, nothing. So I'm
If you
like,
get robbed and only certain things are missing, it's definitely an inside job because if it's not an inside job, they will clean you out. And the only reason, again, they grant you mercy is because they don't want their inside job to lose their job. Get it? Anyway, um,
should I pick that cat up now? I'll let you.
and guess what? This is probably the only channel that'll tell you that. I'll just tell you right now. Anyway, um, I went to Butuan one time, left myself by myself to meet someone there. Turned out good, but I didn't realize it was a rough area. Well, yeah, I mean, you can go to a place and um, yeah, I mean, you can go to certain rough areas and sometimes they'll leave you alone for the most part. But if you make it a habit, that's when it becomes a
Yeah,
problem.
if you're going there every 3 months and then you're
Yeah.
going out at
If
specific
if you
times.
have a schedule, they'll figure it out and stuff like that. Bubba says I was in Manila 10 years ago. I left my Filipina after my girlfriend told me give money to her entire family.
Yeah.
Fair
that
enough.
is
Fair
tough.
enough. Fair enough. Lou says there's racism in Mexico as well as North Mexicans hate South Americans. Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
And
Other people
North South Mexicans hate. No, yes.
from
No.
other,
There's
like if they come in from what's the other countries further down? Yeah, was
I
it
forgot the
Belize or
term.
something?
It's not called racism anymore because you're there. It's the same race because it happens here too. I forgot. So anyway, yeah. For those of you who know what that term is, let me know. But anyway, yes. Yeah. Kind of like, oh, you're from the east side, you know.
Mhm.
Philip says thanks for. Oh, never mind. Um, it's not skin tax. It's foreigner guy tax because all foreigners are rich. Yes, that's somewhat more accurate than skin tax. Correct.
Yeah, I'm just
Although
always
again,
been
that
told
that applies to Filipinos too. Because again, for example, when I was buying fish, um, I was buying fish. They said, "How much is?" I said, "How much is this?" It's 50 pesos. I said, "Oh, it wasn't even 50 pesos. It was 40 pesos. 40 pesos." And
Yeah.
then this girl pulled up in an SUV. She was pretty too. She got out. The reason why I said pretty because I'm throwing in the girl thing there. She got out of the SUV and then she was right behind me. She says, "How much is a fish? That fish, exact same fish I asked about." And then they told her, "Oh, that's 60 pesos." So they were gonna charge her more. She came out of a car. Get it? But we're the same race, and we spoke the same language. I believe she spoke Pampan, but they gave her a higher price because she came out of a car. Um,
Yeah, I don't. You can answer that. It says, "Why are you two so close to each other?" I don't know if you're talking about like sitting here for the live stream, which that's the way it would be,
because that's
we're
body
married.
language. Because I love my book.
Well, they have all couples that they're sitting next to each other, and I don't know.
No, not all couples sit next to each other closely.
Yeah.
See,
So
there's body language. The fact that we're staying close to each other tells you that. I have my bubba. I have my bubba.
yeah, I love the cats.
Yeah, I know.
You're nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah. So if I disappear and Heidi says,
Don't check
you
in the
love
deep
me more.
freezer. That's
You love
why.
me more than I love you. That kind of thing. Anyway.
And that I love that ice cream and the new deep freezer that I have, and just bought a bunch of new
Oh,
spices.
wait, we have
and
ice cream. Anyway, I'm
It's
joking.
in the other freezer.
Sniper says, I would stay away from Mindanao, though. Yeah. Well, again, unless you have business there or a reason to be there, don't.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I bet that kitty was loose.
Yes. Kitty was loose. There you go. George, are you saying that there's a tier of expat in the Philippines? Tier 1 is European, Tier 2 is brown African American, and Tier 3 is Asian. Wow, Lou. I didn't say it. You did. But anyway.
It's like that all over the world.
Although it's a little, I disagree. African American, just so you know, is the same. No, okay, to clarify, African American and African are two different tiers. African Americans are the same tier as Caucasian Americans. Okay, but um, for example, the people that come from Nigeria, from Largo, that kind of stuff, they're on a lower tier. If that makes
To
any
the
sense.
Filipinos.
To the Filipinos,
'cause
right?
Filipinos can be.
Right. So
It doesn't change. Oh, the whole thing is people expect some miracle when they get here that things don't change. Usually, what goes down in your country is going down here.
right.
Filipinos are going to judge. A lot of people come and think that there's no judgment and
Right.
that and I get that the Filipinos are nicer and all that, but it's still
Yeah.
they're still human. There's
No, they are. But I'm just saying again that you know they can identify kind of like you guys. I'm sure most of you guys can identify the difference between, well, most of you can determine the difference between Chinese and Asian, that kind of deal.
I think they still see the wallet. It doesn't matter if it's a Filipina, a store person, a resort, or whatever. They're just
Well,
trying
that's
to
the
figure in
thing.
their mind who's got more
Well,
money.
that's why I said, for example, Nigeria is a lower tier. Um, in their minds, they have less money than African Americans.
Okay,
Get it?
so what you're trying to say among all of this is that if we were all sitting at that resort, then and I was sitting there, more than likely they would come to our table first.
Oh, because you're Caucasian?
And female.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if there's okay, if there's a Caucasian, I mean, an African American, and it was just me, they would go to him first before they go to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or a Japanese guy and a Filipino or
Right.
something.
That kind of deal. But if there's for example, if there's
I don't want to.
okay, well, I'm just saying there are, what I'm saying, I disagree with Lou's um, hierarchy there. That's what I was trying to establish. That
Hey,
again,
Google Bear.
African Americans are the same level as Asian Americans. Um, or what do you call it? Remember, Australians, and same thing with English people, because again, remember, there's you
Just watching the cats.
know Say Amable says foreigners lack common sense nowadays. Well, actually, newer generation lack common sense nowadays. Basic example: a vlogger goes to a festival.
Right.
Sorry, I couldn't help.
That is
Where he
true.
is expected to be robbed with a phone on you. Put your phone in your pocket. Accuse it.
A local. Yeah,
I
I thought
I'm
that was
gonna be
kind of
honest with you.
awful.
In all honesty, he
He
probably
accused him
lost that
and
phone.
he accused him, put the photo up, used an entire 20-minute video, and then in the end he was like, I'm not really sure if he did it or not. I was like, dude, further on you actually showed his photo. And you didn't wait a few weeks to say that. He said it by the end of the video, and I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
I get if people find out the person was innocent or it was
You
solved or
can't just accuse
resolved.
somebody. And again, in a
Well,
fest, that's like
if you know it.
and here's the thing: he complained about the cops not doing it. You go to again a Metallica concert, and you go to the cops right away and says my phone. So they stole my phone. Wait, you were in that concert? Yeah. You think they're gonna do something? No. They'll be like in their head, you probably just dropped it. You know what I'm saying? You have to take the circumstances.
Yeah.
Clark says the locals can smell someone who
Oh,
is an
well.
outsider and have money. Correct.
It didn't take a blind man to see that one.
Taking your phone out to do currency conversion calculator is clear.
Right.
True story. True story. Actually, again, guys, don't take your phone out. And if you do take your phone out, even I do this. I look around first. I go to a corner, aka, for example, I go to Watson's a lot for meds. What I'm saying is I usually do the phone call inside Watson's, or if I don't have a signal inside Watson's, I go in front of it and back myself in front of the corner where the guards can see me, and then make the phone calls there. What I'm saying is I don't just whip out my phone and walk around like, hey, hey, hey. And sometimes
Oh, well,
even Heidi will tell you this. I'll tell Heidi, babe, I'm in the middle of the street. I'll call you later. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk on the phone while I'm on the street. I do this in the US too, by the way. But anyway, yeah.
no.
Mimi and Abel. Hello, me and my wife watch your show. We've been together for 6 years, and she turns. Hmm, that's the joke.
Maybe they reversed the numbers or something.
Yeah. Anyway, Ed from Queen says we have third generations Asians living in New York City, and my kids and best friends are Asian. In most parts of New York City, racism is almost non-existent. Well, that's the thing. Like that's a good example. Asians in New York City, unless for the most part, it's kind of like depending on where you're at, they seem as the norm, and the same thing here, like Koreans and Chinese, and Indians, they're kind of like the norm.
I'd be interested in your channel there, Mimi. Considering you said living in the Philippines on 440 a month, that one I would have to hear. Give us some context.
Um,
And here, 1 second.
I think it's
Wait,
harder to
you can.
determine the safe and dangerous places as a foreigner in New York. I would be able to tell immediately when entering a shady area.
Mm.
Jose says, I don't worry about the racist stuff. Plus, people can't figure out what my nationality is in person. I told a girl I was point blank. Point
was
blank.
part
She
was
was straight
part
up
yeah was
told
part
me,
black.
oh, part black.
Still need glasses, but I don't.
Oh, and then I really, what? I told the girl.
Part black. She straight up told me that I really can't see.
Huh. Jose says, needless to say, we meet and had a great night. Oh, there you go. George, I have seen vloggers that are African visiting Philippines, and there's a huge difference of how Philippines react to compared to a German guy.
Correct. If there's a German guy walking around with a camera, and then there's a black guy walking around with a vlogging camera, they do act different. So no, they do treat people differently, but
Great point,
that's in
George.
any country. It really is.
Lou says
I
yes.
think that's
Don't give bad people an opportunity, and that's what we're trying to say here.
Mhm.
Don't give bad people an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Can you barter your way out of skin tax? This is worth trying. Yes. However, in order to do that, you have to be knowledgeable. What I'm saying is, you can't just.
People have, and a
You
lot of it
can.
happens during the
You
cab
can.
rides, and a lot of them won't bend. Once they give that price, it's hard to get them to
Yeah.
bend.
Can you barter? Yes. It's like, but remember, it's like in the U.S. You have to have an edge. One, knowledge. Um, you can tell them, well, you know what?
I haven't had
I know
any.
how much that really costs. I know where you got it. This is
Have
how much
you
it really
really gotten
costs.
a Filipino to change price? Because I haven't. Every time we've asked somebody, nobody's bartered on any prices of anything yet.
Well, hold on. Let me finish this. Again, in any country, can you bartering never changes. You have to have knowledge to barter. And if you don't have knowledge, you have to have something else. Like, you have to be,
Puspa.
yeah, well, you have to have the attitude, or you have to
Attitude.
be somebody they want to F. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. What I'm saying is
In other words,
can you
would
flirt
let.
your way into bartering? Yes. Now, those are the three rules
Not
of,
here,
well,
probably.
what I'm saying, three things of bartering: knowledge, huspa, and they attracted to you. But yeah, yes, of course I have. But I don't. Why? Because depending on what it is. For example, like I said, when I talk to tricycle drivers, if they give me the right price, I give them a tip. If they don't give me the right price and they charge me extra, I don't pay. I don't give them a tip because, well, obviously their tip is the one that they jacked up the price. Now, bartering. Be aware. There's really not a lot of profit in most items you'll deal with. For example, what was the recent thing I got a discount from? Oh, I bought, like, for example, I think it was just, well, not the chicharron, like the chicharron. No, she didn't give me anything on that one.
No.
But anyway, I was buying some food
Speaking of
items,
which,
and
who's
she
that?
says she knocked off 4 pesos for me. What's that?
The chicharron.
Okay, yeah, these. These are really good. These are not your typical chicharron.
Yeah.
But anyway, she knocked off 4 pesos for me, and 4 pesos to an expat is literally peanuts. Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
I thought you said she gave you an attitude and said something about they're the same price they were the last time.
I'm not talking about this. I
Oh.
just said it.
Oh.
I said not the Chicharon.
Oh.
What I'm saying is,
See, that's what happened.
most of the time when they give you a better price, it's really insignificant to expats. Again, for example, they knock off 2 pesos off. They knock off 4 pesos off. If they knock off 10 pesos, that's a lot. But guess what? 10 pesos to you guys is nothing, literally. So that's why I don't barter, because it's like, well, I get 10 pesos off, and
That's really good.
honestly, most of the time I don't want to take that money away from them.
I do.
No, you don't. Even you don't even do that. You usually just say keep the change.
Yeah, I usually do. George has asked me why I don't get the change.
No, Heidi
anymore.
usually just says keep the change. That's my
Mhm.
point. Most of you guys will say keep the change, and when you barter, for the most part, it's the change.
Yeah, to make like a peanut butter out.
And that's why is it worth trying, as Justinville says. For the
Mhm.
most part, no.
But some of it can be
But
pretty
a lot of
significant.
you now, some of you will want to barter just to barter, because I know some people just love to haggle, regardless.
They
But
do in the Middle East.
yeah, it's some of you really enjoy it, some of you don't. But what I'm saying is it worth trying? Yes. Most of you will say keep the change, and that's their profit. It's the change. So I don't do it. Um, do I get usually discounts? Yes, most of the time. Most
I wish you guys had taste
most
fishing.
most vendors give me a discount without me asking. You know what I'm saying? Ren. Oh yeah, no, he's just talking to some. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's right.
I deleted that because that's just somebody trying to promote them if it's not him.
Black Grandpa says, if you ask Calvin if he thinks African Americans and Caucasian Americans are the same tier, I think he would disagree with you with extreme prejudice. Well, yeah,
think
no,
they're
no,
the
no.
same, though.
Yeah, well,
I think the Filipinos don't see any difference.
no, they do. They do. No, they do. I hear it from the Filipinos. No, they do.
Well, it's a new generation too.
They do. They can. Well, I mean, it's not like you can't tell. I mean, even physically, they're literally different. I mean,
You think about the physical difference right now?
no, 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 no. I was thinking of my old friend Matthew. Matthew was he's Asian, and he is the nicest and smartest one of the nicest and smartest guys I know.
Who?
Matthew,
What did you say he was?
Asian.
What
He
is he?
always brought me food.
What is he? Hated Asian?
What? Anyway,
I take it you mean Haiti and Asian? Asian?
yeah, people from Haiti are called Haitian.
Oh,
You know,
excuse me.
when,
Trying to enjoy my breakfast there.
George Washington, all that deal, asleep, Asian. Anyway, no, Asian. No, one of my old friends, Matthew, he's Asian. He's one of the smartest, nicest guys I know. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm ready to beat one of you in there.
Sterling Edwards, currency converter. There you go.
All right. There you go. Lunch is over. Better not catch you guys in there. It sounds like one of them's
George
trying
Case has been to Angeles 5 times, been up, down them streets all hours of the night, no more than 2 blocks off Wall Street. Don't wear no man purse. Don't walk around with my phone. Oh, he's telling you what not to do.
Yeah,
what not to do.
because wearing those bags all over Walking Street at night, they know you're carrying money, phones, passports. It's a 100%. that you've got something walking
Yeah, the
around.
man purse, right?
Hey, Alex, what is going on?
Alex Bamban, good morning, everybody.
Man, them are really good, guys.
Alex says it's very simple to stay out of trouble in any country. Follow these 3 simple rules. If it's too good to be true, then it's walk away, mind your business, and avoid conflict. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, usually if that's going down, him just giving over the bag should have been the end of it. The fact that his life was ended, there's something personal going on.
Yeah.
I can almost bet there was something else going on. I just can't see at a resort area with people around that they would do that in such a fatal injury on top of that.
Yeah.
Something is really personal about this that happened.
Yeah. Now, just a bill to clarify. So the skin tax is only 10 pesos. I was talking about bartering. Okay. Bartering and skin tax are 2 different things. When you barter, it's around the realm of 10 pesos is what you get.
Our most recent deal is that it was several US dollars difference. for
Skin
bananas.
tax, it ranges from 10 pesos or up to double your amount of whatever you're purchasing.
Right.
And have we experienced this? Yes.
Yeah, they tried to charge 300 pesos for bananas. And even if you go to SM directly in the
Or a little
store,
bag
they
of
should have been 200 pesos tops for the
yeah,
same
or a tiny
weight.
bag of lemons. It could be
So,
anything.
and
No,
that's expensive. So that means in another market area, it'd have been even cheaper. So we were charged double for the bananas.
yeah, and 10 pesos is a lot to a Filipino. Just so you guys know,
This
it
was
really is.
150 extra pesos for bananas.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Unless they're
For 2
an
pounds of
upper
bananas.
crust Filipino, they're kind of stuck up. But even
So that's a
then,
big,
even
that's
upper crust
significant.
Filipinos can understand that 10 pesos is a lot.
So that almost equals almost $5 for it was 1.2 kilo of bananas, which is less than 2 pounds. That's
Yeah.
significant. $5 for 2 pounds of bananas was a little.
Now, for those people who disagree that 10 pesos isn't a lot, I'm saying a lot of people. I'm talking about that statement.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying for those people who saying that 10 pesos isn't a lot, for the most part, whenever you see a Filipino selling a product, that's their entire profit on a particular product. That's the average profit they have. So what I'm saying is to those who dare say, "Oh, I'm Filipino, 10 pesos isn't a lot." Well, then guess what? Go down to reality. Usually that's all they make on that product, if that. Anyway, no, again, I'm just letting you guys know. Just Bill says I can live with that. Yeah, now again, just you may again, most expats can, but a lot of Filipinos can. Black Grandpa says if you're a foreigner in the Philippines and you have a barter with the locals, you can't afford to live in the Philippines, and you should return to your own country. There you go. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, Black Grandpa says, yeah, if you're gonna barter and for the most part, it's pointless. There are sometimes you get 50 pesos off, but that means you're talking about like, if you're buying like a grinder, for instance, a tool, that kind of deal. But for the most part, when you go to the palenque or the market, buy little stuff, 10 pesos is a lot. Justin Bill says, I just don't want to go 150 peso cab ride. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. For example, the cab rides and the tricycle rides. For instance, a tricycle ride, again, on average is, I guess now it's 60 pesos per kilometer. Anything more than that, then they're taking you for a ride, literally. And also, another thing that some Filipinos do, they shouldn't, is if you don't know the area, don't get me wrong, they do this to Filipinos. If you don't know the area, they'll literally drive you around in circles because they know you don't know the area, and then drop you off to your destination.
That's why we always recommend for the foreigners that just want to avoid this, they just get grabs and go places. But
Right, because it's fixed. It's a fixed price, correct.
But some people, they do come here on buster budgets where literally that's all they do is take trikes everywhere. And so therefore there could be, but I'm telling you what, some of the trike distances, they might as well get a grab with air conditioning.
Yeah. That's what I said earlier, Alex Combined, that always tell them turn on meter if they want to walk up. That's, yeah, first off, yes, have the meter on. But the problem is, even with the meter on, again, there are drivers out there that will take you out for a ride, literally, and then charge you for it. And again, they do that to Filipinos too. If because they can tell if you're from the area or not. I mean,
Mm.
again, they usually do this to Filipinos. Right? Mm.
Oh, because we have the AC guy coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking over there seeing if we had the plastic cover because we have to cover the router and stuff.
Black Grandma says dark skinned Filipinos get treated as second class citizens compared to light skinned Filipinos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
all kinds of
Again,
stuff
I
going on.
forgot what it's called. It's not racism because it's the same race, but I
That
forgot
one's
what
called
that's called.
lightism,
Right? True story.
and being on big, light, and white, I pay a hefty price for
Yeah,
real.
Randall says just walk away on the skin tag. Yeah, if they're overcharging you, just walk away. Don't. There's no sense in arguing with them. There really
But
isn't.
there'll be times like us where we needed the items, it was a necessity, or you're in a ride, you just pay and just avoid that again. So or just always walk away because people have fought over this, and it's
Yeah, if
can get
Grab
you in
is
big trouble.
available, get a Grab ride. Or
A meter taxi.
actually, for instance, what's his name? The Scott. Scott in Isa's world. He actually booked his taxi in advance, so he already knew the price. It's already fixed. That kind of deal. Depending on how you book your taxi, if the price is fixed, then it's fine. But like I said, the ones that that take you for a ride, literally, those are the ones that you see sight. They actually see you and they're like, oh, he's a foreigner. He doesn't know where he's going. I can take this guy for a ride.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We do appreciate everybody coming in today. And if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's very important. And yeah, so we will be back, or I will be back on Saturday to wrap up what's gone on this week, and if there's anything new and up to date on anything that we've covered. And thank you for Ted being in there and moderating, and thank you Philip Mazie and our members that have signed up for membership. Thomas Beal was actually in there too.
Oh, that's right. Thomas Bill. Yeah. Ted. Thomas Bill was in
Yeah,
there.
Sarah's in the house. Yeah, I can't
Sarah,
say
yeah.
Black Grandpa.
Ruby was with us today.
Yeah, Alex Bon was in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys for coming in, and we will talk to you guys later. And George is going to get a new pair of glasses. I know we had this down, but it's been hot here. We got the air guy coming. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.